History remembers Lord Ram as the ideal king. It celebrates Hanuman as the greatest devotee. But there was another hero who never left Ram's side, a prince who never desired a crown, a hero who never sought praise, a brother who chose duty over comfort, a servant whose loyalty became eternal. This is the story of LAKSHMAN, the silent warrior of the Ramayana. Long before the forests, before the battles, before Lanka burned, King Dasrath longed for children. Through the sacred yagna, the gods answered his prayers. 4 princes were born. Among them was LAKSHMAN, the son of Queen Sumitra. Yet the sages knew this child was no ordinary prince. He was the earthly incarnation of Adishesha, the eternal cosmic serpent upon whom Vishnu rests. His destiny was never to stand before Vishnu. It was always to stand beside him. From childhood, LAKSHMAN could scarcely bear to be separated from Ram. While other princes admired kingdoms, LAKSHMAN admired only his elder brother. Together they studied under sage Vishwamitra. They mastered archery, learned discipline, protected sages, destroyed evil. More importantly, LAKSHMAN learned that true strength begins with humility. Every lesson Ram learned, LAKSHMAN embraced with all his heart. As they grew older, their bond only deepened. Where Ram walked, LAKSHMAN followed. Where Ram served, LAKSHMAN volunteered. Where Ram smiled, LAKSHMAN found peace. He never saw himself as second. He saw himself as blessed simply to walk beside righteousness. In Mithila, joy filled the kingdom. Ram married Sita. LAKSHMAN married the gentle and wise Princess Urmila. Their wedding was magnificent. Sacred chants echoed through the palace. Flowers rained from above. The future seemed full of happiness. Yet destiny was preparing another path, one that would test every vow LAKSHMAN had ever made. When Queen Kaikeyi demanded Ram's exile, without hesitation, LAKSHMAN made his choice. I will go with you. He removed his royal ornaments, laid aside every comfort, and walked away from the life he had always known. But perhaps the greatest sacrifice was leaving Urmila behind. While LAKSHMAN spent 14 years protecting Ram, Urmila spent 14 years protecting his memory. Her silent sacrifice became the unseen strength behind his own. The forests welcomed them with towering banyan trees, flowing rivers, bird songs, and hidden dangers. Every step carried them farther from royal comfort and closer to spiritual greatness. To LAKSHMAN, the forest was never punishment. It was another opportunity to serve. LAKSHMAN built their shelter with his own hands. Every beam, every roof, every wall. He gathered food, collected firewood, prepared their home, never asking for thanks. His greatest weapon was not his bow. It was his willingness to place others before himself. Each night, while Ram and Sita slept, LAKSHMAN stood watch. His eyes searched the darkness. His bow remained ready. Ancient traditions even tell us that he remained awake throughout the exile, protecting those he loved while sacrificing his own rest. Whether taken literally or symbolically, the message remains timeless. True guardians sleep only after everyone else is safe. Then came Shurpanakha, consumed by desire, blinded by pride. When she threatened Sita, LAKSHMAN's protective fire erupted. Unlike Ram's calm nature, LAKSHMAN wore his emotions openly. His anger was never for personal gain. It was born from love and from defending Dharma. Soon, an enchanting golden deer appeared. Sita was captivated. Ram pursued it. Then a desperate cry echoed through the forest. It sounded exactly like Ram. Sita pleaded with Lakshman to go. His heart knew something was terribly wrong. But his love for both Ram and Sita placed him in an impossible dilemma. With great reluctance, Lakshman obeyed. He turned away from the forest hut. His instincts warned him, yet duty demanded he continue. In that single moment, the course of the Ramayana changed forever. Ravan revealed his true form, the mighty king of Lanka, 10 heads, immense power, boundless pride. He abducted Sita in the Vimana. When Ram and Lakshman returned, the forest had fallen silent. The search for Sita had begun, and with it, the greatest war of the age. Their journey led them to Kishkinda. There they met Hanuman. One servant of God recognized another. Together they formed one of history's greatest alliances. The impossible became possible. Thousands of Vanaras carried mountains. Great stones floated upon the sea. Lakshman oversaw the construction beside Ram. Sometimes, the greatest miracles begin with ordinary hands working together. War consumed Lanka. The skies filled with celestial arrows. Mountains trembled. Fire illuminated the heavens. Lakshman stood at the front, leading without hesitation. Then came Indrajit, Ravan's greatest warrior, master of divine weapons. Their battle shook heaven itself. Arrow met arrow, Astra collided with Astra. Two extraordinary warriors tested every limit of courage. Indrajit's divine weapon struck. Lakshman collapsed. Silence fell across the battlefield. Even Ram, the embodiment of composure, knelt beside his brother in grief. Then devotion took flight. Hanuman crossed mountains, reached the Himalayas, and when he could not identify the sacred herb, he carried the entire mountain back. Love refuses to fail. Friendship refuses to surrender. Lakshman opened his eyes once more. Strength renewed, Lakshman returned to battle. Indrajit fell. The balance of the war shifted forever. Victory belonged not to pride, but to perseverance. With Ravan defeated, the heroes returned aboard the celestial Vimana. Ayodhya erupted in celebration. Flowers filled the skies. Conches echoed through the kingdom. After 14 years, home had finally welcomed its children back. Ram was crowned king. The kingdom rejoiced. But as the world looked towards the throne, Lakshman quietly stood beside it, exactly where he had always wished to be, always beside righteousness. Even after peace returned to Ayodhya, Lakshman's greatest sacrifice still lay ahead. One day, Ram entered a sacred meeting and vowed that no one must interrupt it. Outside the chamber, Lakshman stood guard. Then the great sage Durvasa arrived, demanding to see Ram immediately. He warned that refusing him would bring a terrible curse upon Ayodhya. Lakshman faced an impossible choice: protect his own life or save the kingdom. Without hesitation, he chose the people. He interrupted Ram's meeting, knowing it would cost him everything. Bound by his sacred vow, Ram was forced to part with the brother he loved beyond measure. Accepting his fate with complete peace, Lakshman bowed before Ram one last time. He walked to the banks of the sacred Sarayu river, entered deep meditation, and quietly left his earthly life. His final act was the same as every act before it. A life of unwavering loyalty, selfless sacrifice, and perfect devotion. Lakshman returned to his eternal form. Adishesha, the infinite cosmic serpent, once again supporting Lord Vishnu upon the ocean of milk. His service had never truly ended. It had simply returned home. Lakshman reminds us that greatness is measured differently. Real strength protects, real courage serves, real love expects nothing in return. Perhaps the strongest people are not those standing in front of the crowd. Perhaps they are the ones quietly standing beside those they love.